behind the cape. I'm sure you want to talk about a specific one, but there's been a couple of Harry Potter castings.
Potter.
Ew.
Harry Potter.
Ew. Disgusting.
Young Harry.
Disgusting.
My son hates when I do that.
I do too.
Harry Potter. Young Harry Potter.
It's disgusting.
Welcome to Hogwarts.
Stop it.
Yeah, okay, so we got old girl from Ozark as Professor McGonagall. Like it. We've got John Lithgow as
John Lithgow?
Dumbledore. John Withrow? What did I say?
Lithgow?
Lithgow. Whatever. He's Dumbledore. The one I don't like. Severus Snape. Gonna be played by a black man. What's his name? Give him to me again.
His name is Snape casting. I forgot his name. Paapa Essiedu?
Crazy. Paapa Essiedu.
Paapa Essiedu.
Okay. Paapa. I don't know how they convinced you to do this. I don't know what in you would make you want to play this character. I mean, Severus Snape is an interesting character. Let me not take that away from you. You are in for the craziest next 5 years of your life, either positively or negatively. I happen to think that this is not necessarily going to go positively. I don't. Let me explain. Severus Snape is a character that can be played by a lot of actors. The thing that makes it so troublesome to play by a black actor for me is the arc.
Sure.
Right? For a white guy, Severus Snape's arc is... It's run of the mill. He was the loser guy who didn't get the girl. Probably the guy who should have ended up with the girl but never did. He's the underdog. He's the outcast. He's the ugly duckling. Right? If you peer into the books at all, they specifically talk about his physical appearance being one of the driving forces of rivalry. Or not rivalry. One of the driving forces of him being ostracized from his peers.
Yeah.
Right? His solely look, his pale skin, his hooked nose. Those are the things that they ragged on Severus for. Right? His relationship with Lily Potter. Loves Lily Potter to the moon and back. She doesn't match it. She never gets to a point where she loves Severus the same way he loves her. She ends up falling in love with his mortal enemy, the Flash Thompson to Peter Parker, the Mandark to Dexter. Right? He is his bully. James Potter, seen through Severus's eyes, is a villain. Right? He loves Lily Potter to the moon and back. She falls for his mortal enemy. And then, for you to get past all of that, create a station for yourself, a reputation for yourself, and then you just end up protecting the offspring of that unholy union for the rest of your life, to the point where you end up dying for him. Now, again, there's a lot that you can do with that character and that arc as a white guy, because there's so much that can kind of hide in between the margins when everybody's the same.
Mhm.
When we're judging appearance, but it's just two white characters. You can kind of flatten it out to he's ugly, and people usually act a certain way towards what is deemed to be ugly in general society. You are introducing a whole nother team of issues when that individual is black.
1,000.
Now we're judging that character's appearance and he's black. Now, old girl maybe secretly liked you, but she liked the white boy better. She chose the white man better. Why did she choose the white man?
Issues that you could have completely ignored.
All of this gets so much more complicated when you make him a black man.
Yeah.
The fact that he's chasing this white woman around for his entire life just for her to walk off and go to your mortal enemy. And then, don't worry, Lily, because I still got you. I'm going to protect your son after his death. Not just protect him, I'm going to die. I'm going to let the Dark Lord murder me to protect your son. Even though you couldn't find yourself to be with my black Av. I'm going to find a way to protect him. They're going to have to do some reworking with the narrative, which takes us further and further away from the original, which is naturally going to leave some fans disaffected. You already are going to have to count the racist fans. Like that's is what it is.
Right.
He's black. He's in Harry Potter. We don't like it. We're going to rage. That is a certain percentage that couldn't have been avoided.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're also disaffecting well-meaning fans that literally just wanted to see another version of what they already saw.
Right. Right.
And now there are going to be these caveats where we have to make the arc with Severus more digestible. We have to. Or we have to flat out change it altogether so that people aren't expecting the same thing. But it makes it so much more complicated when you're doing this with a black character. So I just feel like it's a hurdle they didn't necessarily need. And literally, any other professor other than Severus Snape. You want to make dude Sirius black? I'm with it. It's fine. Like, it literally doesn't change the characters at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't change them at all. Was dude with the eye that pops up in Prisoner of Azkaban? Not Prisoner of Azkaban. That wasn't. It was a Goblet of Fire. Dude with the eyeball. If he's black, what does that change to the story? Absolutely nothing. Dog, I would argue to you that if Dumbledore himself was black, it would be less of an impact to making Severus Snape black. But you made the one character, probably him or Hermione, the one character where that person's race is going to play an intrinsic role into how they are portrayed on screen. There's two, maybe three. Harry, Hermione, and Snape. Everybody else can be anything you want them to be. And you chose the one character where this is going to have an immense effect on the overall arc of the story, the overall plot of the story. Are Lily and Severus still, distant soulmates? Does he still have this long lost affinity for her? Like, I feel like it was a hurdle that we didn't need to create.
Two things. If Dumbledore is black, since he's gay, do you make him Coleman Domingo?
Did he actually become gay in the second Fantastic Beasts? Like, I know that was a thing in the books. I just don't know if it ever made its way to film.
Yeah, I don't think it. I don't know.
I didn't watch the second Fantastic Beasts, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the other thing, Gray said it in here. He mentioned, the popular thought, at least on the internet, that since Alan Rickman was Severus Snape and he had that look to him, that Adam Driver could have been Severus Snape in this iteration.
Visually, it would have worked. I don't know. I've been kind of out on Adam Driver's acting lately. I didn't like him in. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to hold this against him specifically, but Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker was awful. His last couple of at bats didn't really do it for me. And so to say that he would have just been a seamless 1-to-1 for Severus Snape, I would have had a hard time putting the confidence in him to do so. Because again, it's been a while since I've seen Black Klansman Adam Driver, Force Awakens Adam Driver. Those were like visually gripping type of performances for him. And it just hasn't led to that next step of stardom for me, where we were 3-4 years ago, we were saying he may be the next Reed Richards. And now all of that has subsided. Like we're good. We're good. Having Sirius bleed black would have been just as problematic. He was a criminal. He was literally only a criminal because they thought he murdered Peter Pettigrew. That is the only reason why he was a criminal. Sirius Black, his legacy in the Harry Potter franchise is that of being James Potter's best friend, right? Like, his legacy is not that of being a criminal. He's only a criminal because they thought he killed Peter Pettigrew, in which he should have killed Peter Pettigrew. He should have killed Peter Pettigrew if he had the chance, if he actually made it happen. Again, that is less problematic than me watching this young black boy chase this white girl around while he's being made fun of for being black.
Right.
I'm not gonna watch that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna do it. They have to rework this to make it make sense in a non-racist way because again, racism wasn't a part of
His story.
the Harry Potter franchise. It just wasn't. Does that make it less realistic in a real world like the one we live in? Yeah, sure. But again, the Harry Potter was about escapism. It was about a magical wizarding world. Now, I can't say that as an adult, it's lost on me that there weren't that many black characters, and maybe that was a reason why we didn't have to deal with that as a thing. They kind of pivoted that whole conversation to the idea of muggles and human mixed breed with magical breed. That kind of replaced the whole excuse me, racial divide of the world aspect in the wizarding world. Because I mean, are we really going to sit up here and act like the African or the Haitian or the voodoo witches aren't going to be treated differently in the wizarding world than they would be with their white counterparts? Absolutely, we know that. That's 100%. But that's not something that they would highlight in the franchises. I don't think they would have a choice if they make Severus Snape black. The same way they wouldn't have had a choice if originally what the plan was for Hermione to be black went through. They wouldn't have had a choice if they'd have made that change. This makes a decided thing that they're either going to have to deal with or change.
Resident Evil movie is happening.
Resident Evil, yeah. I mean, I feel like there are already too many Resident Evil movies.
There are, and not a lot of them are all that great.
If we're doing this one, please do it without Malkovich. Like, she's a reboot, please. If we are even doing this again, not original storyline. Let's redo it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's redo it. If we even need another Resident Evil movie, I don't even know if we need another one. To be honest with you.
Agreed. Tiana's series. She was supposed to be the first black Disney princess, and that's not a thing because her series got scrapped.
We're almost there. Just kidding. Not there at all. I feel bad for Coco Jones. I feel bad for Ari Lennox. I feel bad for the original voice actor. Can't think of her name right now.
Coco Jones and
I feel bad for anybody who was vying for that position to play it in live action because this is not a sign that oh well yeah the animated series is canceled, but we're still going to try and get a live action Tiana. This seems like a pivot to save money, to be honest with you. Right? Like we got a lot of things going on. They maybe had some other things that got pushed ahead of her in the Disney animation space. There didn't really other than, we had that video of Ari Lennox doing some voiceovers for some of the scores in that production. I think it was like last year that we talked about that. And then obviously Coco Jones doing her own rendition of it. Um, but never really a concerted effort to say, hey, we got a budget, we got a director, we got a writer for this series. It was just never got that big. It was just scuttlebutt about who they would want to play her. Much like what we're talking about with Black Panther, right? Like it was never anything concrete, just a lot of rumors and talk, and obviously some interested parties.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where it dies, at least these days, for Black projects or Black characters over at the House of Mouse. So, hey, listen, I can continue to I can continue to try to campaign to my fellow YouTubers. I laid out a challenge to Chill and Darius on this week's episode of Pantheon. If y'all gonna continue to review these folks' stuff, if y'all gonna continue to put their product up and promote it to your audiences, the least you can do is match it, with a black project.
Be loud as about
Mhm,
situations like this for sure.
mhm.
I agree.
So, audience, y'all hold them accountable. We got Chill in here in the chat. I don't know if Darius is watching, but y'all hold them accountable. If y'all see them reviewing Daredevil Born Again or any of the Thunderbolts movie or anything like that, y'all make sure that y'all see an accompanying black project right next to them. That was the challenge that was laid down, so I expect to see it. And to kind of expand that out to the rest of our YouTube friends. If you look at that, if you look at what they've canceled over at Disney, what they're still struggling to produce at Disney, and what they can get out the door at Disney, and you're satisfied by that, then I'll see you later. If not, then I encourage you to, refocus, because there are new black creators out there, are new black projects that are being made. There are things that we can continue to build anticipation for. I understand that it's not going to be as plentiful. It's not going to be as big of a list of things for you to review. That's just kind of where we're at. I've made the decision that I'm not going to help promote a company that just doesn't really see the value in promoting my likeness. So I'm hopeful that more channels will get on that with us.